Hello guys, in this tutorial we'll talk about collections. So before starting with collections, just talk about array. So how to define an array, we have to specify data type and then we have to mention the array name which is A, and then we have to say new array and we have to define the size here. Now the drawback of array is you can have only 10 elements now. We cannot increase and we cannot decrease also. So if you say 10 at the time of declaration, it will be 10. To overcome this problem, we have a new framework of collection in Java. Now, to use a collection, we have to use an interface called as collection. So in Java, we have a collection interface. Now, by importing package, it's collections. Okay, it's collection. Now we'll say the reference as C. Now, in order to create object or instance of a collection, unfortunately, this collection is an interface. You can see it's an interface, right? So to create an object of or to instance of this collection, we have to use a class which has implemented a collection, and the class name is ArrayList. So ArrayList is a class in collection framework uh, which has implemented this collection interface. Okay, so let's see if you go to this class ArrayList. If you can see this class ArrayList has extended. Okay. So this array list extends abstract list and it implements list. That means we have one more interface called as list. And if you go to this list now, this list extends collection. So indirectly, this array list class implements collection. So we can create an object of array list and a reference of collection. Now, how to add elements? See, by default, this array list will have 10 elements. Okay, so it will take only 10 elements, or it has a size of 10 elements. We can add more than 10 elements. We can reduce the number of elements. So to add an element, we have to say c dot add, and we can add elements like let's say we add 1, we can add, let's say 2, right? We can add any number of elements. And in the amazing part is we can add any type of element. So we can say 1 to Naveen, then c dot add. Let's say even I can add 5.5. That means it supports all type of elements is because by default collection is a collection of objects. And all these types are objects. One is integer, but it's object. String. Naveen is a string, but is the subclass of object, right? Because all the classes like integer or string or double, they are subclasses of object class, right? So that's the advantage of using a collection, right? Now, how to print a collection? It's very easy. You can use a enhanced for loop. Enhanced for loop will pick up since we are using a object type, we'll say object O in C. So it will fetch one value of a collection interface, value of from this collection, and then we can print it. So we can say S out and O. Now you can see it will print all the values. Amazing, right? It can print all the values. So the advantage of collection is it's the collection of objects, right? And we can directly add elements. We can remove elements. So we can say c dot. We have option of remove. If I don't want two, I can just specify two. And if I run this now, so it will print 1, 11, and 5.5. It's because it has removed 2. So we can add elements, we can remove elements, which are not possible in array, right? Now, now since it's an advantage that you can have any type, it's also a drawback. It's because whenever you create an application and when you use a array list or a collection, you are using that collection for specific types. Like example, we can say we have a collection of names, we have a collection of numbers, we have a collection of images. That means this collection should be of a particular type. If I say there's a collection C, this C should be of type integer, or it should be a string, or it should be any object, right? But it should not be default, which means by default, this collection is a collection of objects. What I want it to be a collection of maybe integers. So what I can do is to specify this collection should not support string, it should not support double, it should only support integers. We can use something called as generics. Now, what is generics? We can just specify in angular brackets that this should only supports integer, and in this side also we can specify this is integer. Now, this type of styling is called as generics. So we can specify which type of element we should have using this generic symbol. Now, question arises, why angular brackets? Is because on your keyboard the only symbols which are remaining is this angular brackets. That's why the generics uses this angular brackets. Now, generics was introduced in version 1.5, and in 1.7 we have a new update where you don't have to mention the type on the right side of the uh, collection, which means when you create a reference, you have to define the type of the collection. But when you create an instance, you don't need to create. It's because it will fetch that type from the left side, right? And you can see now we are getting error here, and that's why it will not support. So we'll just remove this part, and from this we'll remove zero point 0.5. So now it will support. So it supports all the integers. Now the amazing thing is, now this C is not a collection of objects. This is a collection of integers. So what we can do, we can simply say it is integers, right? And now if I print this, I will get all the integers. Again, I have removed 2, that's why it's not printing 2. So this is the basic of collection. We'll go in detail in the subsequent tutorial. So do subscribe, and thanks for watching.